Is it my job to win a World Series or to provide families with a summer of entertainment? Those were the comments of Mark Attanasio before the season. Fans didn't like it. He backed up those comments, might have doubled down by the Brewers' inaction at the trading deadline. That's next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Wasn't a complete quiet day for the Milwaukee Brewers, but they didn't address any of their much-needed needs on this team, namely the left side of the infield. And Brewers fans aren't happy about it. Hey, everybody, Chuck Freimund. Good to have you along here on Locked On Brewers on a late Thursday night, early Friday morning, depending where you're watching the podcast or listening to it. Thanks for coming on here. And I too kept thinking, are the Brewers going to do something here? Are they going to make a move? Are they going to fix the left side of the infield? Now, I said all last week, I said maybe the Brewers don't need to make any moves because there is such good chemistry on this team. I've never seen a team in my years of covering the Brewers with this type of clubhouse, this type of chemistry. They've had similar teams, but this team just has some magic to it. Well, Mark Attanasio said before the season, here is his direct quote: "Is it my job to win a World Series, or is it my job to provide a summer of entertainment and passion and a way for families to come together?" He's provided summer entertainment. He just hasn't provided fall entertainment. The Brewers are 2-10 in their last 6 playoff appearances. Get that. Their record 2-10 in their last 6 playoff appearances. No, and because the Brewers have been relatively quiet at the trading deadline. Now, you could argue this year this team is playing so well. Well, do you need to maybe keep up with the Joneses because everybody else is getting better through the trading deadline by making moves, that you have to go out there and make some moves just so nobody is going to boat race you? And well, the Brewers really feel they've tried, according to Matt Arnold, they tried making moves. There was stuff on their radar. It just did not happen. But this has been par for the course for a long, long time, right? 2018, they went in a little bit with a couple of moves made, the Moustakas move and all that. 2011, 2008, all in on CC Sabathia. He was the top chip out there. But, some of the big pieces out there who could have fixed the left side of the infield, namely Suarez, and the Brewers had the resources out there to pick him up if they wanted to. They did not pull the trigger. I'm wondering this: if the Milwaukee Brewers truly feel that this team is championship caliber, because when you're a championship caliber team, yeah, you do got to go all in and upgrade a few positions. And yeah, the Brewers had won 8 in a row right before the break, right? Things were going so well. They lost 2 or 3 to Miami, where the offense wasn't so good. And then they come back and take 2 or 3 from the Cubs, and we're feeling good about them again, right? So, I mean, certainly I can understand the argument of saying, hey, this is my team. We've got this far already. This is the team we're going to have to ride out. This is the team we should ride out without giving up any chips. On the other hand, like I said, other teams are getting better. Other teams got better on Thursday. Other teams you're going to have to compete with to win a World Series. For crying out loud, not only win a World Series, to win a playoff series, which you haven't done since 2018. So I kind of get both ends, but mostly people are upset. Most of Brewer Nation is upset, and I get it. I'm wondering if Mark Attanasio, and he holds the keys to everything. He holds the keys to the kingdom here. Matt Arnold's got to make the moves, but everything goes through Attanasio. You saw when Matt Arnold made these moves today, he made a comment at the end of the day when talking to the media. He thanked Mark Attanasio for taking on some salary and some of these moves that he made. A little bit of salary, but nothing like we wanted, right? Fix that left side of the infield. So the Brewers going forward, that's your left side of the infield. Ortiz at short, Durbin, Ziegler over at third. Terang is going to play second base. Terang is fine at second. I just thought that they were going to go in this year, but I should have known that this is the way the Brewers operate. They're not going to give away any of their assets. And you know why? They're not going to give any of their assets because they see future Brewers. They see future Terangs and Freliks and Churios within the organization. Not necessarily what those guys do, but productive players who are going to make this team win for the next few years, right? I mean, the Brewers are set to win for the next several years, provide that summer of entertainment for Brewers fans. We're going to go out there. We're going to cheer for our team. We're going to love our team because it's going to compete for a division title every year. But are they going to be able to compete for a championship? That's where the term all in is. When you go all in, 2008, Doug Melvin thought he had to go all in by getting CeCe. He felt he had to go all in because they had to break the playoff drought. They had not made the playoffs since 1982. It was 26 years. And they finally made the playoffs in 2008. And a large reason why, the move made by Doug Melvin to get CeCe. But since then, seasons have come and gone, and the Brewers have made the Mark Canha moves and all that, and some of those are nice moves, right? Have they made really an impact move? Not really. It would have been an impact move had they gotten Suarez, I think. But the Brewers didn't want to give up 3 prospects, apparently. It's just funny, because going into this, I never would have guessed they would have gotten more pitching, but that they did. We're going to talk about that a little bit here in a little bit as well. The Cub fans are upset too, because the Cubs went out and made 2 moves for pitchers on Wednesday night, didn't do anything today. Basically didn't do it. They didn't make a big splash. Not the big splash that Cubs fans wanted. Not the big splash Brewers fans wanted. In fact, the Cubs DFA'd Presley, their big free agent their big pickup in the offseason that they got. Ryan Presley. They DFA'd him. He's the one who gave up the grand slam the other day. And they, counsel's on the phone, says probably was talking to his GM. We got to get rid of this guy. We got to DFA Presley. I can't stand looking at him anymore. But that's the Cubs' problem. I'm worried about the Milwaukee Brewers here. And the Milwaukee Brewers, an underwhelming, if you're looking for trades and you're looking for this team to get better, underwhelming. The Brewers pretty much stayed status quo. The sound of silence. And as the afternoon went on, you saw the same teams involved. The Yankees, the Reds last night. Reds are happy with the moves they made. The Padres. I mean, the Minnesota Twins just cleaned house. They were sellers all the way. It was funny. The move the Brewers made today was a selling move. They sold Cortez to San Diego. And it was like, man, how often do you see the best team in baseball right now, the Milwaukee Brewers, become sellers on deadline day? That's what they were. And they made a couple of moves, but it didn't cost them anything. And 2 guys were on the injured list. And Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery, who will probably never pitch for this team. The Brewers, I feel like they just didn't want a summer rental. They didn't feel like giving up some of their prospects for a summer rental was worth it, because those prospects are going to help this team stay competitive in the future and win ball games and make us all happy in that summer of entertainment. So keep going out there. We don't have to see a 60 or 70 win team. We'll see a team that's competitive, but are they good enough to win a World Series? Now, this Brewers team, it is the best team in baseball right now. I think the record shows it. The record shows they're the best team in baseball. Although I saw somewhere that the Brewers being 20 games over the 500 mark with their winning percentage, it's the lowest winning percentage of any team in baseball history at this point of the season, being the number 1 team in baseball. I mean, it's just weird, right? They got the best team in baseball, yet they have the lowest. Here it is. The Brewers will enter August with a Major League Baseball winning percentage of .593. That's the lowest winning percentage by a major league leader entering August in a season in the modern era. Maybe a lot of parity in baseball. Doesn't bode well for their idea of getting a salary cap, when you see that kind of parity, I think it's a result of the schedule. You're not feeding off the bottom feeders. Some of these teams, these powerhouse teams, aren't feeding off the bottom of the barrel teams in the division anymore. And a few other factors as well. But still, the Brewers didn't feel like they wanted to give up any prospects. And I think a large part of it is they feel that those prospects are going to help them stay a winning franchise in years to come. Not necessarily to win a World Championship. Mark Attanasio is looking to bring bodies in the AmFam field, right? And we're not going to go there as much. I mean, they're still going to fill the place up on weekends and all that. But if your team has got 70 wins, I mean, if we're like the Minnesota Twins right now, they're not going to get 41,000 on a Sunday unless they're giving out prime rib sandwiches. But underwhelming, the Brewers just did not want to give up prospects. They did not want to go all in. And they could tell us too, yeah, we really believe this franchise in these guys. We believe, that's what they're going to say. We believe in these guys. Now, is this team good enough as it is right now? They got the best record in baseball, but is it good enough to sustain and keep this thing going into October? So we're not going to add to that 2-10 record in the last 6 playoff appearances. That remains to be seen. But I know fans won't be happy, and we'll be coming back to this day if the Brewers have an early exit in the playoffs, because Brewers fans deserve a deeper run than this. All right. They deserve more than a first round exit after providing magic the entire summer, all last summer, 2022, you name it. I mean, just incredible summers, fun, incredible winning summers. They go 6-0 against the Dodgers. If they play the Dodgers, are they going to go 4-0 against the Dodgers in the postseason? Okay. They take 2 or 3 from the Cubs. Are they going to go 2-3? Are they going to have that type of winning percentage, win 66% of their games against the Cubs in the postseason? I mean, so many things are going right. So I can see, like I said in the podcast last week, I can see where you look at this team and say, man, do I want to ruin the chemistry? We got something really, really good here. But on the other hand, can the Brewers keep this magic up for another August, September, and into October? They've done it for a few months now, 2 months, June and July, and half of May. Can they keep this thing going? Pat Murphy said this the other day. He said, man, we got a long journey. This was after Tuesday night's game. We got a long journey. We got guys who are tired in there. And that, yeah, it is. August, that's why it's the dog days of August that are coming up. Because this is where the time of the season where these guys, under playing in this warm and all that, and the travel, it begins to get to some of these guys. It begins to get, can this team hold up through all that and hold up through the injuries? Looks like we're not going to have Jackson Churio to start the series with Washington. We'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. But yeah, I understand it, Brewers Nation. I totally get it. Being disappointed that the Brewers did not make a move. I get it. Totally get it. But the Brewers did. When I say totally didn't make a move, I'm talking about a high impact move, a big splash move, which a number of other teams did. I mean, the Yankees, they realized Devin Williams wasn't going to cut it anymore as a closer. They got Bednar from the Pirates. They go out and make moves like that. Brewers, the Yankees, if they see a hole in their team, they go out and make a move. Brewers, best team in baseball with a couple of holes, we think, didn't do that. Did not do that at all. All right, we'll talk about some of the new guys the Brewers did get. We're going to get into Churio and look ahead to the Washington series that starts a little bit later on tonight. Chuck Freimund here on Locked On Brewers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. I take one a day, usually in the afternoon. And man, I'll tell you what, mental clarity gives you that little extra energy boost. Hey, whether you're going on a golf course or you got the rest of your day to go on, you want to get a little workout in, 5-hour energy is the way to go. For me, for golf, man, mental clarity, that energy out on the golf course, I take one before I get in a round of 9 or 18. And if you go to 5-hour energy right now, 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. Use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf and you'll receive 20% off your order. Hey, 5-hour energy, get them on this order right here online because you're going to get 20% off your order. Use the promo code LOCKEDONGolf. This offer is only valid until September 30th and only on one order. Cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good with subscription orders, but 5-hour energy, trust me, that stuff works. Chuck Freimund here on Locked On Brewers. Good to have you along here on a Friday morning. By the way, our podcast, you get it on Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download your audio podcast. We're the number one Brewers podcast on the internet because of you great Brewers fans out there. Hit us on YouTube as well. Search Locked On Brewers. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. That'll alert you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. And you can also hit me up on Twitter. Chuck Freimund, Freimund. DM me. You know, those of you who DM me, always know that I'm going to get back to you. A couple of quick questions. T Twice says, hey, Chuck, since we did not address the infield, do you think LeMahieu would be a viable pickup to add depth to the infield? You know, I didn't want him last week, but maybe this is the Josh Donaldson move right here. LeMahieu's reportedly going to sign with somebody. We just don't know. They're waiting for deadline day to happen, and LeMahieu will get picked up by somebody. So T Twice, that's a possibility. Kevin Dudley says, picking up 2 injured pitchers, a very confusing deadline for sure. No additional clear moves made to boost the current team. I agree. I was surprised the Brewers were so quiet as well. Steve says, last time I checked, the Brewers keep everything close to their chest. I think if they wanted to, wait for the market to fall, see what people were paying. And today, I think they realized that they cannot go on letting Ortiz start every day, move Durbin to shortstop, possibly. Well, no. Sunday, we saw Durbin play second base. I don't think we're going to see any more experimenting this season. I think they did that on Sunday with the possibility of thinking that they could, when they did that against Miami, that they could go out there and get themselves a third baseman. But Ziegler is your man right now. Durbin is your man at third base. The Brewers did pick up an outfielder by trading Nestor Cortez to San Diego. Brandon Lockridge, he's got rookie status, under team control through 2031. Not an impact player, although he's going to join the Brewers because it sounds like Churio's going on the injured list. Lockridge will be with the team. He is on the 40-man roster. 5th-round pick of the Yankees back in 2018. Now the pitchers the Brewers got. The Brewers from Arizona got Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery. In exchange, a player to be named later or cash. So the Brewers basically gave up nothing. Shelby Miller on the injured list, but he's on the mend. He has saved 10 games. He's not a closer, but Arizona needed him to close a few games this year. He's got an ERA just under 2, 34 years old. He was with the Brewers briefly in spring training in 2020. The Brewers, to make room for Jordan Montgomery and Miller, they DFA'd Brian Hudson and Peguero to make room. They feel this is a little bit of an upgrade, much like they did with the catcher Jansen, DFA'ing Haas, who has joined the team again with AAA Nashville. So he is off the 40-man, but he's cleared waivers, Haas has, and he'll rejoin the team in Nashville. Peguero, we'll see if he clears waivers and rejoins the Brewer roster. And the same with Brian Hudson. Boy, Brian Hudson, did that turn quickly for Brian Hudson, who was a stalwart in the bullpen last year. So the Brewers feel like with Shelby Miller, they've improved. Having a good year, 34 years old. He's been with 9 different teams. Jordan Montgomery, Tommy John surgery, free agent at the end of the year. Probably, I mean, he's not even going to be in the locker room. So I wouldn't even ever count on Jordan Montgomery being a part of this team. But interesting moves. The Brewers, who are so pitching heavy, Well, they trade Nestor Cortez. They become sellers, and then they become buyers by getting Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery. To me, doesn't count. Doesn't count at all. Shelby Miller gets added to the bullpen. He'll join the team in Washington. Yeah. I'm looking at Brewers Twitter, and you guys are we're just going crazy at 5:00, and I get it. And I got a lot of DMs to prove it. Dame says, I think the move the Brewers will make will be Willie Castro and Danny Columby. No, didn't happen. Did not happen. Yeah, you guys were on fire today, and rightfully so. I get it. I totally get it. Because you know what? You want to see this team win a championship. Winning a division title is not good enough. Going to the playoffs is not good enough. Winning a championship, I think after 43 years, and the Brewer fans, you packed the house at AmFam Field for 5 of the last 6 nights. Okay? 5 of the last 6 nights. And so you're saying, hey, if we're going out and supporting this team, and you guys have not done anything as a franchise, nothing, haven't won a playoff series since 2018, please do something at the trading deadline to help fortify this team. So I get it. It looks like the Brewers didn't feel like they needed to improve the team, or didn't feel this team is world championship caliber. Could that be the case? They didn't feel they were world championship caliber? Talk about Chourio going on the injured list. That's next here on Locked On Brewers. Gameday Hue, great place to buy your Brewer paraphernalia. No logos, though, just the team colors. Team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base out there. Let your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course. They make golf clubs. They make golf clubs with the Brewers colors on it. The blue and yellow. I love them. I got a pair that they sent me, and it's all good. Right now, you get 15% off with the promo code MLB15 at GamedayHue.com. That's GamedayHue.com. That code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load off. Let your colors do the talking, whether you're you want a green and gold or whatever. They have all the colors, no logos, just the team colors. Stylish. You could rep your team, and hey, what team is that? Oh, I see you're repping the Badgers. Get it all at Gameday Hue. 15% with that code MLB15. GamedayHue.com. All right. Chourio's going to go on the injured list. It appears, this is according to Matt Arnold, that he's likely, he hasn't, as of Thursday night, had not been put on the injured list, but it's likely, according to Matt Arnold, going to happen. So the pickup of, like I said, Lockridge will be added to this team. Just hope that Chourio injury isn't, more than a spasm. They said it's a hamstring spasm, but he's going on the injured list. That hamstring, you never know with. So, and is the injury more serious than this? We don't know. Only the Brewers know, and they're not saying anything. Starting pitchers in this Washington series coming up: Quintana on Friday, Woodruff on Saturday, Miz on Sunday. For them, Mitchell Parker's going on Friday, Jake Irvin on Saturday, and the infamous Brad Lord on Sunday will do the pitching. And that's how the Washington series stacks up. When they leave Washington, they'll go to Atlanta, and then the Brewers will come home next weekend to start a 3-game series. I honestly thought we'd be sitting here at the mic talking about the Brewers making a move tonight. Earlier today, I should say. But as the day went on and everybody else was making, and we're following the wire, and I'm following the insiders out there, and they got all the news, they're reporting it, and the Twitter's just going crazy with baseball news all day. But it was the same teams making all the moves. And I'm like, man, you wouldn't have guessed that the Brewers had the best team in baseball with their inaction. Their inaction. They did nothing on Thursday night. A little disappointing. I get it. I get it. We'll see if they made the right move or not. If this was the right way to go. If not, there's going to be some disappointment among Brewer Nation. And if there's ever a time you're all in, this would be the team right here. Wouldn't it be? Best record in baseball, right? So if they're not all in on this team, when can they ever be all in, right? If they truly believe that this is the team that's going to win a World Series championship, can they sustain it for another 3 months? That's what the Brewer organization is banking on. And that's what we got to go on, everybody. See you tomorrow. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. My name is Chuck Freimund. Have yourself a great Friday, everybody.